Welcome to Positivity is the Way to Go. She is a best-selling author, and welcome my friend today. And she's a very good friend, Theresa Dewit. How's it doing today?
Hello, my friends. How are you today?
Yeah, I wish I could just hug you right now. I wish I was in
Yes, I
Idaho
wonder.
right now.
I wonder if we should do a split. Hey, I'm gonna stop the record.
Okay, welcome to Positivity is the Way to Go. And she is a best-selling author. She helped she helped millions of people with their relationships, and she is a child of God. Welcome my yesterday, my friend, Theresa DeWitt. How's it going today?
Oh, hey, welcome. Hello from Idaho, Coeur d'Alene,
Yeah, I was
Idaho.
out. Yeah, you a Vandal, the Idaho Vandals. I like Idaho and potatoes. People like those shrimp fries.
Yes, you know what? It's there's good food all over this country, isn't there? So let's
Yeah.
get on to the subject, my friend.
What
We
inspired what inspired you to take such a dramatic turn in work and life?
oh well, I was a flight attendant for 35 years, and yeah, and have those jump seat conversations. I started helping people on the jump seats. I started helping people on layovers. And then during COVID, I got a chance to write my book. I had a lot of extra time on my hand. You have it there, right, Dion? Show me my book.
Yes, I do.
There it is. Less conflict, more joy. That's a book that I wrote, and it's for women of faith who are struggling in their marriage. And you can get it on Amazon. It's on Amazon, 20 bucks. There's also an ebook form that you can do for, I think it's $9 on Amazon. So if you get one, go there. Less conflict, more joy. My name's Theresa DeWitt, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's in the book today and how the Lord has really led me to make a difference in a million marriages.
Sounds good, Teresa. Sounds good.
So
Hello?
you were what inspired me to make a difference, or what inspired me to make the change? I
Well,
feel
yeah,
like
return to work and life.
I really feel like our lives need to mean something. They need to make, as a Christian, as a woman of the Lord, I think just serving cokes on an airplane isn't I'm not necessarily called to serve cokes on an airplane, right? Uh, I believe I'm called to do more, to be more, to help other women with some of the things that I've learned through a very difficult first marriage and then into my second marriage now. Learned a lot. And I have 5 children. We have 5 children, and my intention was to write a book for my kids so that they would have kind of step by step, simple principles, that things that they could learn today, apply it tonight, and start having a better marriage tomorrow. And that's what inspired me to make a change and start writing this book.
You're such an inspiration, Teresa. Well said. What makes your book so different from every other book that's out there?
Well, one of the
That
things,
talks about
let's see,
relationships.
I've got a copy here too. One of the things in my book, Less Conflict, More Joy, again, it's on Amazon. You can kind of see it. We'll see if I can get it without the ring light on there. Anyway, one of the things is that at the end of every chapter, you're going to have a summary section, and then you're also going to have some questions. Some questions like this one, action steps, finding the triggers in your conflict. Very practical things that you can learn quickly. This isn't some long drawn out, difficult to get through. I mean, spend 15 minutes a day and you can get through a chapter. Another 10, 15 minutes and you can do some of the action questions. And I also, if you go here, see where it says you get your free bonus at freegiftfromt.com. That's that's another website that you can visit of mine, and there you can download an action guide that you can use along. It's a companion to the book. You can download the action guide. You also get a chance to see some of my videos because I have an online course. I have a Facebook group, a Facebook page. I do coaching one-on-one with individuals. So the way my book is different is it's very practical. It's things, again, you can learn today, apply it tonight, and have a better marriage tomorrow.
Well, yeah. I read the book is a very good book. You should really go check it out and go buy the book.
Thank you. Please do.
Yeah,
Dion,
Theresa.
you were talking about getting like trying to just maybe just read like first page and the last page. Were you able to do a little bit of that?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Yeah, I mean some of the chapters are only a couple pages long. They're really not very long. And
Uh,
and it's like this one, chapter 9. It's like 1, 2, it's like 3 pages. Simple stuff. Just because I get right to the point. I don't belabor the subject.
yeah, I like that. I like people that are that direct and everything. Yeah, you heard me. I said I like when people are direct and everything with books and stuff. I'm not much of a book reader. I'm more of a movie person.
Oh yeah, I also have if you go on YouTube, I actually have quite a few videos on YouTube. It's on Joyfully Married. My YouTube channel is Joyfully Married, and you can see more there. For those of you who are not really into the book reading business, and I have a Facebook page. It's free. It's for women of faith who have the desire to have a better marriage. And every week, I bring around teachings, things people can learn, easy things that you can apply quickly. And that's on the Facebook page is the Facebook group is called Less Conflict, More Joy. It's the same title as the book, Less Conflict, More Joy. And that's the Facebook group. I have a Facebook page too. Oh gosh, too many things, right? So the Facebook group is really helpful. And so if you're not really wanting to buy a book, you want to just go and learn some stuff for free and be a free member.
Yeah.
Don't you think, Dion, it's important that people who Christian people are, as Christians, we want to try to do a little bit more, be a little bit better every day. I talk a lot about the fruit of the spirit, right?
Yeah, yeah,
About the
yeah.
love, the peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness. I think that our relationship with God, when we have a good vertical relationship with God, we can have really great horizontal relationships. Because when we have a good relationship with the Lord, we're tapped into God's vine, right? We tap into the vine, we get the nourishment from the Spirit. And then we have the fruit of the vine, the fruit of the Spirit, which is the love, the joy, the peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, self control. I think I
Yeah,
missed one, but
yeah, I hope I can find me a godly one and everything. That's why I've been single for a while.
yeah, it's important, and while you're single, keep on going to church, tapping into the vine, listening to videos from other pastors and people that you're going to get inspiration from. Because, I think every time we talk, Dion, every single time you are always bringing up stuff about the Lord and things you're working on. And I love that about you.
Well, the thing is, I'm not a saint at all. I got a lot I got to work on and stuff.
We all do. We never stop, right?
Yeah, but on the world today, you got to be nearly perfect. They don't want you to make mistakes at all. They put us in a corner. They want us to be sliding. They trying to take our freedom of speech away from us.
Well, that is something that we do not want to let happen. We need to be able to, as believers, as anybody, it doesn't matter what religion you are, you should have the freedom to speak about your religion no matter where you're coming from. So, as believers, as Christians, we should have that freedom as well. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and I think people should go to church and hear the word and everything, and that's hear us out and everything when we talking to them and everything.
Yes. Yes. And being part of a body of believers is super important. It's when we are in that body of people, when we're in communion with other believers, it really does help our faith grow. If you try to be a Christian and just be on an island all by yourself in the middle of nobody and nowhere, it's very difficult to live your life for the Lord. And if we're not around other people, we don't get a chance to serve other people. no matter what faith base they come from.
Yeah, so Therese, I know you're passionate about improving marriages and helping women avoid divorce. What are some of the perspectives a person must have to achieve longevity in marriage?
Well, like I said a minute ago, staying focused on our vertical relationships with the Lord was going to help us have a great horizontal relationship with the people in our lives, including our spouses. So there's one of them. The second thing is like what we talked about a second ago is learning and growing every day, doing our very best to live for the Lord and and be a good witness for God in our marriage. Because if you are, let's give you an example. If you tend to be hot tempered in your marriage, if you tend to be fiery and always in arguments and conflict with your spouse, you probably need to go back and revisit some of the things about what the Lord tells us to do with the fruit of the Spirit, that we need love, we need peace, we need patience. That's a tough one sometimes. Kindness, goodness. And these are things we want to show to our partners. And we need to stop ourselves. Don't want to be disrespectful. We don't want to say things that are going to hurt a person. We need to, when we're really angry, we need to not say everything that's on our mind. That's a critical piece of learning to be, becoming a good partner. A lot of things I talk about in the book here, in Less Conflict, More Joy, I talk a lot about these kind of things. I talk about ways to reduce conflict, ways that you can reduce conflict before it even starts. Learning to not say everything that's on your mind. Um, not being aware of how your hormones are affecting you. I talk a lot about that in the book too, because as women, we got the short end of the stick in certain ways, where our hormones do affect the way we feel, but we are also, it's important that we learn to control those hormones to understand what's going on in our monthly cycle. I talk about that in the book.
Yeah, marriage is all about communication. I never been married at all, and I've been single for a while, so I don't know about this stuff really.
Has a lot to do with communication, right? And and I would say that it kind of, I start out talking to people about joy, about how having a joyful countenance, a joyful presence in your marriage, being intentional about bringing joy, happiness, playfulness into your marriage can make a huge difference. I give you an example. There was a few years ago, my husband and I, we were living in a little tiny house. It was by our own choice. It was a little tiny 1910 cottage in downtown Coeur d'Alene here, and it was 850 square feet. So it was pretty small, like the size of a, 2-bedroom apartment maybe. And it was a little 2-bedroom house. And I had a business, an accessory business, and so I would always have product all over the floor, because when you are dealing with product in a business, you have to have somewhere to put it. I didn't have an office, so my living room was my office. And when he would come home from work, he always hated it when there would just be stuff strewn all about. So well, a lot of times when he would come home, which would be mid-afternoon, because he would start work real early as a plumber, he'd come home and it would just be a mess, and I could just see on his face he would be frustrated. So I would scramble around trying to get everything cleaned up as soon as he got in the door. I'd try to clean up, if I was pricing scarves or pricing product or whatever I was doing, it was just usually all over the place in the living room. So I'm scrambling around as soon as he comes home, trying to clean things up. And then I'm basically, what am I doing? I'm focusing on my business and not on my husband when he comes home. So I found that I had to switch things around, and I was listening to this guy named Brennan Bouchard, and he was talking about being intentional before you go through a doorway. So like for instance, Dion, before this call today, I wanted to be intentional about how I was going to be on our call together. I wanted to be friendly and positive and have a countenance of joy and peace. And so I intentionally said, well, even though I was kind of like having a blah day before we got on the call together, I had to kind of bring the joy to this call to make it a good one for both of us and for the listeners that are going to be listening to this for however long they do. So I started doing that with my husband, is that before he would come home, I would even if I didn't have all the living room cleaned up, I would, as soon as he got to the doorway, I would do something like this. And he kind of looked at me really funny the first time I did that. And he came in and he went and took a shower and didn't, just kind of looked at me like, what are you doing? The next day, I did it again. He came home from work because we had a big glass window. So he was, he could see me. As soon as he got to the door, I was sitting, I'm over my desk chair. I'm like, he again is like, uh, okay. And then the third day I do this, he goes, okay, what is up with that? He wants to know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I explained to him. I explained to him about setting a tone, setting an intention for our evening together, being intentionally playful and joyful and spontaneous and silly, the things that make your partner smile. And when the two of you can smile and laugh, and even though there's probably still paperwork or products or whatever on the living room floor, he wasn't as upset about the mess because now I'm focusing on him. He's had a long day at work. He's been working hard for our family. He's been a provider. And so now I'm acknowledging him as soon as he gets home. I'm not ignoring him, feeling like, oh, I got to clean up the mess. I'm actually focusing on him. And he started doing the same thing the next day, that fourth day that he came home from work. So instead of me doing the waving, he went up to the door, right? The waving. He came up to the window and he plastered his face against the window. He's like, to me. And that has been a big lifesaver in our marriage. It's really made a difference because he even just this morning before he left for work, he did the same kind of silly stuff with me because it keeps us laughing. It keeps us enjoying each other because if you have a foundation of lots of laughter and joy, silliness, love, if you have that foundation, when you do have like moments of stress and drama, it it's harder to get through. It's not as hard on your marriage because you have a good foundation of love, respect, joy, fun. So those times when you have an argument, it doesn't make your whole marriage crumble. The whole thing doesn't fall apart. You're stronger because you set that foundation.
Well said. The thing is, it's more about love instead of sex and lust and everything. Like a lot of relationships out today, it ain't based on love. People don't really love each other. They may love the money or pleasure or how good somebody look. It's
That's
all the
right.
wrong reason not to be together.
That's right. I mean, the physical relationship in a marriage is super important too. No doubt about it. And that's another thing I talk about, because with our hormones, for women with our hormones, we can tend to want to push our man away for a day or two or a week or get into menopause longer. And it's important that we keep that physical part of our relationship active. Right at
So you
first,
saying you want
physical part
women
of
to?
marriage is not a problem. But
So you saying you
later
want
down the
women
years,
to?
go
So
ahead.
you saying you want women to have sex 7 days a week, right?
You know what? That is a decision between a woman and her partner. That's something that, there's a scripture that I love and it says, there are three things that I'll never understand and four that are mystery to me. And it goes like, the way of a snake on a rock and the way of, I don't know what those things are. But the fourth thing is the way of a man with a woman. And that's something that's very personal. It's very intimate. It's something that each partner sorts out together. But God also says that if you're going to withhold sex for a period of time, it should be mutually agreed upon and for only a short period of time. And that's something that Paul also says. So women should never use sex as a weapon. They should never say, well, he's an asshole. Excuse my language. He's a poop head. And we're not gonna have sex for 2 months. A woman should never do that to her husband because that's just inviting him to go look for it somewhere else or get into pornography or something that is really unhealthy for the marriage. But it should be mutually beneficial. It's supposed to be a beautiful thing for both of us. Look at Song of Solomon. It's all about the physical relationship between a man and a wife.
Yeah, Theresa, you're gonna have to help me fam me a good looking wife. Theresa, you gonna have to play matchmaker made with for me, you know. So what inspired you to write your best-selling book?
Well, it was again, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I started, let's see if I have it here. So I started out writing like this little booklet. It's a little like it's still a lot of stuff, but I wrote this. It was called, can you see? Divorce Sucks. That was the name of it when I and my writer's copy, because I the idea is that divorce sucks. It really does. And marriage is it's too easy. We have a kind of a throwaway society right now. People are just like, you throw away your garbage, you throw away, whatever, and you throw away your relationships. Oh, he's poophead again, and I'm done. I'm out. See ya. Bye. Don't need you. Bye. See ya. Back of the hand. Whatever you gonna do, right? And the problem with that is that you've invested a lot of yourself emotionally. You have a lot of friendships that are built around your relationship. You've probably spent a lot of money to get married, and divorce is expensive too. And God doesn't want us to just throw those relationships away. If you've been praying for a partner, you want to invest time in learning how to be a really great partner. And so that's why I wrote this, because I wanted my kids to have that basic understanding of what does it take to be a great partner. What does it take? What are things that you can do? Marriage, it's hard not to argue and say mean things to each other, hurtful things that you can't take back. You don't really mean what you said, but you just don't have the self-control to not say everything that's on your mind during an argument. A lot of times people get into really bad financial problems because they haven't managed their money together well as a couple, or they've blown all their money on coffee stands and eating out and that kind of stuff, wasting money on stupid things. I talk about in the book, I talk about this financial part of the book where, I really say that, if you're disciplined and you're both working, you can save for a down payment on a house, or you can save for a really great vacation in 3 years. You can have an epic vacation or a down payment on a home. You can save $10,000 between two people if you're both working and you're not blowing your money on garbage. It's possible. And Dave Ramsey has a really great program. It's ramseysolutions.com, and they have a really great program on how to manage your money. So I talk about that too, because because money can be one of the number one stressors in a marriage. So if you learn how to manage your money and make sure your bills are paid and your rent's paid and you got your car payment and your insurance and all that stuff, and you're not going to the coffee stand every day. So why did I write it? I wanted to make sure that my kids had the tools that they needed so that they don't have to make some of the same mistakes that I made early in my marriage, or the same mistakes that a lot of people make early in marriage. They're able to kind of avoid some of those pitfalls and start off on a really great foot forward.
Yeah, I got well said, Teresa. That's why you're the expert at these topics, more than me for sure. But what do you think that the world needs, and why do you think people give up on God so easy?
Well, you know, John Lennon said it. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, right? It's the love, it's understanding that we are that we need to show the golden rule to each other, that we need to love people as we would love ourselves. We need to serve people as we would serve, ourselves. That's the golden rule. And I think that's the basics of what the world needs now. People acting like the
But
golden rule, not being so self-serving everywhere.
yeah, and it's okay to talk to people and say hey without people being weird about it. It's like I'm saying hey, it's like my name is Danny, and I'm like, what's your name? Jessica. It's like basic communication is like gone out of the world. Social media. It's like people are afraid since their lives to even talk to people or even look at people.
That's right. Yeah. And that's a really sad thing. And I know that I've experienced that in big cities when I've been in big cities, in Chicago, in New York, in San Francisco, in Los Angeles. People don't look at each other in the eye. They don't talk to strangers. You just keep to yourself. You got your earphones in, and you got the you get these in your ears, and you're thinking looking at something else, and boy, just leave me alone. People don't want to talk. Let's take this out so it doesn't catch the video audio here. But anyway, it's trouble. It can be really lonely in when you're in a big city. That's why church is really important. It's important to have fellowship with other believers, because that um it just fills your soul when you're in fellowship with other believers.
But yeah, it's this girl that I've been talking to in my church and everything, but it's been a little bumpy so far with that and everything. But we'll talk more off air about that though, Theresa.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
taking a
We
selfie?
we um we're kind of running out of time. You
But
you had
it was nice
you had
having you on though, Theresa, and
yeah,
hopefully we could do a more length, a better, another interview. And hopefully you got a YouTube channel, right?
that's right. Okay, so
You
here's how
should
you
have
get a
me
hold of me.
on. Can you
I'm on
have single,
YouTube. I'm
can
going
you
to give
have
you all
single
the
people on your channel? Can you have single
yeah.
people on your channel, on your YouTube channel for interviews?
Oh no, I don't. I don't. I just do my own videos over there,
No, no, I'm
but I
saying
have
maybe.
my YouTube channel is Joyfully Married. The free Facebook group is Less Conflict, More Joy in Marriage for Christian women. So Less Conflict, More Joy in Marriage for Christian women. If you just type in Less Conflict, More Joy on Facebook, you'll find me. I also have a Facebook page which is called Joyfully Married, and then my book, of course, Less Conflict, More Joy, on Amazon. It's about $20 on Amazon, $9 if you just want the ebook. And grab right here. Can you see right here? Free gift from T.com. That's a great place to get video and the action guide that goes along with the book. Now we
Yeah.
got a couple more minutes. You want me to play my flute?
Yeah. Theresa, I was always wondering why do you that's hell? Where's the other T in your last name?
What's that?
Your name is Dewit, but it should have another T in my opinion.
Oh, no, no, no. I know that, it's just the way my husband's family spells it.
Oh,
They're
okay. 'Cause I always was wondering
okay,
like
let me grab
where's
my
the other
flute.
T at? Okay.
Okay, let's see if we can hear it. You said earlier you couldn't hear it, but I'll just play I'll play what am I play? Play. Amazing Grace. Okay.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Okay.
I'm playing it from memory, so sorry. There you go.
Okay,
Maybe when
that
you
was
listen
a
to
good
it later, you'll hear
performance.
it.
Yeah, that was a really good performance by Theresa DeWitt, but it was great having you on, my friend. I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk on the phone this week or next week. It's always great talking to you, having you on.
Yeah, great to meet with you today. I'm so glad we finally were able to do this. I will I'll share this with you so you have a copy of it and you can put it on your channel. And I just wish you the best. I'm honestly, Dion, I'm just so impressed. 26 years old, you're out here interviewing all kind of people, just reaching out, working your business. I just wish you the best success. And also, I pray that you will find just an amazing woman that's going to love you for all that you are, that's going to bring lots of joy into your life, and someone you can share your life with.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Okay.
Keep on putting it out there. You'll find it. All right. Well, I'm going to
Okay.
sign off. Thank you so much for letting me spend the day with you. And anything else you want to say?
No, that'll be all. We can talk more off the screen, everything.
All right. Sounds good, my friend. Thank you. Blessings.